We've seen that you've obviously flown over to Norway this morning. What can you tell us about the mood in the camp and how the excitement's building for tomorrow night's game?
I think, from the minute that I arrived this morning, it's been amazing. I think for majority of us, it's first experience, and I think it's just a total buzz. It was early doors at Celtic Park, but everybody's smiling, a few coffees, but yeah, just total excitement. It's an amazing opportunity for all of us. We've brought over everyone, which is great as well. It's nice to see the younger girls getting a taste for it, so that in the future it spurs them on and to want it more. But yeah, I think the whole thing today, the flight with just us on it, and everything's just been amazing. It's living up to expectation anyway.
Brilliant. How important is it, though, with all that going on as well, that you are able to focus on the game tomorrow night, and how important will it be for more experienced players like yourself to lead in that?
I think it's huge. I think from the minute we get on the bus to go to training shortly, it'll, the mood might calm down from excitement to focus. There are times where you do want to switch off from it a bit and just relax. And we've obviously, the nerves have already been mentioned. I don't think nerves are a bad thing. Everybody's really excited, but I do think it's important that training today is full focus. We can calm down a bit tonight. Then tomorrow it's heads in the game. It's the same as a Sunday for you, really. And on a Sunday you wouldn't be carrying on. You'd be fully focused on the task ahead. So I think for a lot of us, the message should be that it's just your average Sunday in the SWPL. Just you're not at home. You're in Norway, and the surroundings are amazing.
Brilliant. And finally, from me, how will this experience of playing like a team like Levante in this sort of competition, how will that benefit you when it is just a Sunday in the SWPL and a normal league game, if you like? What will you take from this experience into those games?
I think it's a massive learning opportunity for us. It's a huge challenge. There are different challenges that we face in the league, whether that's playing against Glasgow City, the reigning champions, or playing a sticky game and having to grind out a result. Playing in these difficult games, it brings out a different side to your character, and it's something that we should take back and we can use, whether that is going out in a big game against Glasgow City, or in the 70th minute 0-0 in a gritty game where the other team's making it difficult for us. There's so many things that you can take away that I think will be very easily transferable to your normal Sunday routine. Thanks,
Kelly. Best of luck tomorrow night.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have you had a chance to look at Levante yet at all on video, Kelly?
I've not. Mr. Alonso definitely has, and I'm sure we will go over that. It's obviously only a couple of days since we played against Hearts, and we'd be very disrespectful to Hearts if we were focused on Levante before playing that game. Quick turnaround, Monday recovery session, Tuesday travel, Wednesday we're fully ready for Levante. So that time will come, but we'd be being very stupid and ridiculous, disrespectful to Hearts if we'd ignored that game on Sunday and focused on tomorrow instead.
Yeah, they finished just behind Real Madrid and ahead of Atletico Madrid in the league. What do you expect tomorrow?
A difficult game, a very difficult game. They weren't far off of Real Madrid. They beat Atletico, I'm hearing, at the weekend. So it's not going to be easy. It's never going to be easy playing against a top team in Spain. It's not easy for the guys either. So I'm expecting technically absolutely excellent players, physical all over the park, fast, skillful. Everything that you would expect in a Spanish team is what I'm expecting to see on the pitch tomorrow.
And finally, for me, Kelly, you've experienced some bad times at Celtic. I know that, but did you ever think this day would come?
No, I actually did an interview on Sunday, and I don't know if I'd subconsciously maybe accepted that this might never happen for me. It's been a roller coaster of 8.5 years, but I finally feel like I'm on a roller coaster that goes vertical and doesn't come back down. We're pretty sky high right now, so I'm delighted that I feel like my loyalty has been rewarded, and I'm not talking about a personal reward. I'm just talking about for the team. Over the years behind the scenes, what the club's added to us year in, year out, it's fully deserving of where we are right now and what we've got coming tomorrow.
Fran mentioned that Levante might be the opponents that he would maybe not rather have faced. But do you think that maybe when the draw was made, they saw they were playing Celtic and maybe had, a wee bit of apprehension themselves then when they looked at what you guys achieved last season and in very big matches and the manner in which you secured the Champions League place, they might be a little bit more concerned than people are thinking.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be respectful to us. Like you said, we had big results in big games. The Glasgow City game 0-0, both teams missed a penalty, but if they look at that and they look at Glasgow City's record in the Champions League, then potentially, but I think even without that, Celtic's a big name. It's a club that anybody who watches football knows of, and I'm sure they'll respect us. They'll give us the respect that we deserve tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you guys play the way you did last year, confidence is a wee bit. We're a bit confident that you're going to do something, and it's going to be quite a celebration when you come back.
Hopefully, I mean, we showed last year that we've got real grit, real togetherness. In tough games, we defended very, very well, and we took our chances. So if tomorrow's a similar occasion, then bring it on.
Can I just ask you about changing the subject a bit about Forfar Farmington dropping out the league? That was quite a sad situation.
Yeah. So my history was I was at Forfar from the age of from the age of 15 to the age of 18. So for me, I'm gutted. It's a really well-run club with great players. They've brought through great players. They've had really good teams in the past. So it's gutting, but I'm sure they'll go and refocus on their youth and give them a couple of years. I'm sure they'll be back.
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks you.
Well, I'm not about captain Celtic in the Champions League, so probably not as good. But just coming off the weekend, Hearts very good side, very tough test. How good was that as preparation for tomorrow night in terms of getting to a sort of physical battle and and coming away with the win? How good was that as preparation?
Yeah, they were a really organised team on Sunday. They've made massive improvements since the start of last season. I think, like Fran has already mentioned, it was really good for us in that we got players on the pitch that hadn't played with us before. We got the win, which is always what you want going into a big game, a bit of momentum. And yeah, it was a good performance. They were physically tough. I'm expecting that tomorrow. They broke us a couple of times on the counter and made our legs work a little bit harder than we'd maybe had in some of the pre-season friendlies. So it was a good challenge for us, but I think it's really important that we got everyone on the park. We got 3 points and we built on our momentum after the Partick game going into tomorrow's game.
Okay, just another one. So obviously this is, it's been quite a turnover in terms of players, but you got a lot of really promising new talent coming in. How good has this been actually as a sort of kind of team bonding kind of exercise? You're all traveling together. You've got this exciting opportunity. Like, obviously there's got to be a lot of excitement around. How's that been so far?
I think that's invaluable for the season, to be honest. It's something that due to COVID in the last year and a half, we've not been able to do. And I think as a squad, it's just so important to get that off-pitch time together. Obviously, it didn't affect us that bad last year. We managed to qualify for the Champions League, but if we'd managed to do all the normal things and travel on our trips to Gran Canaria and whatnot, it might have given us that cutting edge to win the league and not just come second. So I think the off-field stuff is genuinely invaluable going forward for the rest of the season. Just that time with each other away from the pitch that is very, very hard to get during COVID.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Claire. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I think lots of the stuff I was going to ask has been covered, but I just wanted to go back. Natasha touched on the leadership thing with new members of the squad. Obviously, you're going into this fixture as captain and it's a completely new context for you as a squad. How are you kind of balancing your role as captain with the focus on what you have to do for tomorrow's fixture?
I think it's a really fine line. So far, I've maybe tried to have a bit of a laugh with the girls. I've not spoke to anybody about whether they're nervous tomorrow or not, but just trying to set that relaxed, enjoyable atmosphere from the minute we met this morning. I'm a total morning person. A lot of the girls aren't. So they love when I walk into a room in the morning and cheerfully shout morning at them all. It's exactly what they need sometimes. So I think for me, it's just important to make sure that off the field, people are relaxed, they're enjoying it. There's no nobody nervous, nobody that, they're away from home. Some of the youngsters are away from home potentially for the first time for something like this with a team that is maybe their heroes. We've got young Tyree. She probably 6 months ago looked up at us like we were absolute superstars, and here she is on a plane to Norway with us to play in the Champions League. So I think off the pitch, it's all about making sure we're relaxed when we can be relaxed, and then making sure when we're on the pitch or if we're in a team meeting that it's full focus. But to be honest, the girls are a professional group, even the youngsters are a professional group. So when it does cut, I'm not going to need to tell anybody to focus when they need to focus. I think for me, it's more about making sure that when we can switch off and just enjoy the trip, we are doing that.
Great. Thank you so much, and good luck for tomorrow.
Thanks, Claire.
Just wanted to just one from me about Mr. Alonso, as you called him. There was a great picture on Twitter that was put up from the first game of the season, when we had the first goal of the season last time, and then the last game of the season against Motherwell. In both of them, you're giving each other a huge cuddle, basically. Obviously, the relationship between a captain and a manager needs to be strong. But just how much have you enjoyed, getting to know Fran and working under him?
He's sticking his fingers in his ears. It's been amazing. He's been a total breath of fresh air. His enthusiasm for football is a second to none. I've never met anyone like it. I think he would be on a pitch from sunrise till sunset if he could be. It's been so enjoyable. I've learned loads. It's a different way that he plays. There's certain things that he focuses on that I'd never focused on before, that if he gave you footage from the very first training session he had and he gave you footage from now, you'd see a drastic improvement. So I think, he's a bubbly character most of the time. And yeah, he was a breath of fresh air when he came in. I think it was exactly what we needed. He really lifted the club, and his passion is infectious. And I think that showed in some of our performances throughout the season. I'll give him a special nod for the Rangers game at Celtic Park. He was excellent that night, and he really, he got the girls right up for it, and I think it showed on the pitch. So yeah, I think he was what we needed, and I think he's really getting the best out of a lot of the players.